Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Straight Stitching, where I turn fabric into art, one stitch at a time. My name is Tiffany and I'm your guide to quilting with confidence. Today we'll be working on block number 8 of our Straight Stitching Sew Sampler quilt. This block is made up of half square triangles as well as square pieces. In a moment I will show you what the block looks like with the pieces laid out, and then we'll jump right into piecing them together. Like the other videos, we will be piecing with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Here is block number 8 with the pieces all laid out, ready to be pieced together. So as you can see, this particular block is made up of 3 different colors, and you can see the solid pieces here. These pieces are 3.5 inches square, and then dispersed throughout the block you see the half square triangles. And these half square triangles, like the others created in this series, were created from 4-inch pieces that were sewn together, and then the half square triangles were trimmed down to 3.5 inches. So I am going to begin the process of piecing each of the blocks together, and then we will come back in a little bit with the completed block. I am going to very likely, not very likely, I know definitely for sure, I'm going to do this on a time lapse. So I think that because we're at block number 8, and it's very similar to the other blocks that we've put together, where we are essentially piecing half square triangles and then solid squares as well. I don't know that there's necessarily a whole lot to be learned by way of doing anything new or different. So I will do like we've done in the previous video. So I'm going to chain piece each of the halves of each row together, and then I will come back and piece the rows together. So if you haven't seen the other videos, just so that you catch up with what I'm saying. So I'm going to chain piece each of the blocks together, and so I'm going to start off by taking 2 pieces, so half of this side of the block, and then I will continue to do that process, just selecting 2 pieces, piecing them together with a 1/4 inch seam. And so at some point I will end up with 4 different pairs on this side and 4 different pairs on the opposite side, and then I will come back together and piece the 2 pairs together to form rows. And once I have the 4 rows completed, I will then piece the rows together so that we end up with our final quilt block. And again, for each of the blocks in this particular quilt that we're working on, the Straight Stitching Sew Sampler quilt, there will be 2 of each block. So I'm going to go through now and I will make the 2 blocks for block number 8, and then we will be that much closer to completing the project and having all of the blocks together, and then doing really what I think is the fun part, which is laying out the 10 blocks and piecing those together so that we end up with our final product, which is the Straight Stitching Sew Sampler quilt. So it shouldn't take very long from the viewing perspective, since I am going to speed this up on time lapse. So stick around and you will see what the block looks like at the end. It will of course look like what it looks like now, but it will be pieced together. So we will continue on with that process now. block number 8, so you can see that it is all put together, and it looks good. I like it. So next will be block number 9, and then following that will be 10, and then we'll finally be in a place where we're able to piece together in its entirety our quilt, the Straight Stitching Sew Sampler quilt. Thanks for watching today's video. If you have any comments, please leave them. If you haven't already done so, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you on our next video, which will be block number 9 of our Straight Stitching Sew Sampler quilt.